The Nile Valley, 3600 BC. In the heart of ancient Egypt, a massive procession moves toward a towering pyramid. This is the ritual of transmigration. Ensaba Nur, the world's first mutant, is old and frail, but he is about to transfer his consciousness into a younger body, one with a regenerative healing factor that will grant him eternal life. His 4 horsemen stand guard, but a rebellion is brewing. Disguised as guards, high-ranking officials trigger a massive collapse, intending to bury their false god forever. As the pyramid crumbles, the horsemen sacrifice themselves to shield Ensaba Nur, sealing him deep beneath the sands in a state of suspended animation. The Awakening. Flash forward to 1983. In Cairo, CIA, Agent Moira McTaggart follows a mysterious cult into a basement, unaware that their chanting, combined with sunlight hitting the capstone of the buried pyramid, has triggered a reawakening. The ground shakes, a psychic shockwave ripples across the globe, and Ensaba Nur rises. He emerges into a world he doesn't recognize, a world of weak leaders and machines. In Ohio, a young Scott Summers is sitting in class when his eyes begin to burn. The pain becomes unbearable, and when he is cornered in the bathroom by a bully, his mutant power erupts for the first time. Crimson beams of pure kinetic energy blast from his eyes, destroying the ceiling and the bathroom stalls. His older brother Alex, known as Havoc, takes him to a safe haven, Xavier's school for gifted youngsters. A world in transition. At the school, Scott is introduced to Charles Xavier and the telepathic John Gray. Jean is plagued by nightmares of the world ending, feeling a dark force rising. Charles, ever the optimist, tries to soothe her, but even he feels the shift in the air. Meanwhile, in East Berlin, Raven, formerly Mystique, is now a hero to mutants everywhere, though she hates the spotlight. She discovers an underground mutant fight club where Nightcrawler, a teleporter, is being forced to fight the Winged Angel. Raven breaks them out, securing a favor to get Nightcrawler to safety. In Poland, Eric Lensherr, Magneto, has tried to leave his past behind. He lives a quiet life as Henrik, working at a steel mill, married with a young daughter named Nina. But when he uses his powers to save a co-worker during an accident, his identity is leaked. The local police confront him in the woods. In a tragic misunderstanding, an arrow is fired, accidentally killing both his wife and daughter. The grief shatters Eric. He kills the officers and returns to the mill to finish off his co-workers, but he is interrupted. The Rise of the Horseman. Ensaba Nur, now calling himself Apocalypse, is recruiting. He finds a young Storm living as a thief in Cairo and enhances her power to command the elements. He finds Psylocke, a mutant tracker, and the injured Angel, giving the latter metallic, razor-sharp wings. Finally, he finds Eric. He takes the grieving Magneto to Auschwitz, the place where his pain began. Apocalypse purifies Eric's power, allowing him to control the magnetic fields of the entire Earth. With his 4 horsemen, Magneto, Psylocke, Angel, and Storm, Apocalypse is ready to cleanse the world. Everything they built will fall, and from the ashes of their world, will build a better one. The attack on the mansion. Charles uses Cerebro to find Eric, but Apocalypse senses the intrusion. He hacks into Charles's mind, using the telepath's connection to every world leader to force them to launch their entire nuclear arsenals into space. The world is disarmed in seconds. Apocalypse and his horsemen teleport to the mansion. In the chaos, Apocalypse kidnaps Charles, wanting his telepathy to speak to all. Alex Summers tries to stop them by firing a blast at the teleporter, but he hits the jet's engines instead. The mansion begins to explode. Time slows down to a crawl. Quicksilver, who has arrived at the mansion to find his father, Magneto, realizes what is happening. To the tune of Sweet Dreams, he races through the exploding building, tossing students out of windows, grabbing dogs, and even pausing to eat a snack, saving everyone just as the school vaporizes. Everyone except Alex. Captured and recruited. The celebration of survival is short-lived. Colonel William Stryker arrives with a military strike force, capturing Raven, Quicksilver, Beast, and Moira. They are taken to a secret facility at Alkali Lake. Scott, John, and Nightcrawler sneak onto the transport to rescue them. Inside the base, they stumble upon a feral metallic-clawed beast kept in a cage, Weapon X. John releases him and Logan tears through the facility in a bloody rampage. Before he vanishes into the snow, Jean restores a fragment of his memory. The young mutants free their friends and steal a tactical jet, heading straight for Cairo, where Apocalypse is transforming the city into a new pyramid of power. The battle for Cairo. The scale of destruction is biblical. Magneto is hovering in the sky, tearing apart the Earth's magnetic poles, causing global devastation. The X-Men arrive and split up. Nightcrawler engages in a high-speed teleportation duel with Angel inside the jet. Beast and Quicksilver take on Psylocke and Apocalypse himself. Mystique and Quicksilver try to reach Eric's heart, reminding him that he still has family left. Inside the pyramid, Apocalypse begins the ritual to transfer his soul into Charles. As the process begins, Charles starts to lose his hair, the physical cost of the psychic link. But Charles realizes that because they are linked, he can fight Apocalypse on the astral plane. The physical fight is brutal. Quicksilver uses his speed to pummel Apocalypse, but the ancient mutant is too smart. He traps Quicksilver's leg in the floor and breaks it. Apocalypse steps out to finish the X-Men, looking like an unstoppable force of nature. The Phoenix rises. Charles, battered in the mental realm, cries out to Jean. He tells her she doesn't need to fear her power anymore. "Let go, Jean." Jean Grey steps out into the air. Her eyes glow with an otherworldly fire. As she approaches Apocalypse, the ground beneath her disintegrates. She unleashes the full force of the Phoenix. The fiery bird-shaped aura erupts around her, stripping away Apocalypse's armor and tearing his physical form apart, molecule by molecule. Seeing the destruction and hearing Raven's pleas, Magneto and Storm turn on Apocalypse. Magneto impales him with massive metal girders while Cyclops unleashes a continuous blast of optic fire. All is revealed. Apocalypse whispers as his body turns to dust and vanishes. A new era. The world begins to rebuild. Magneto helps Charles reconstruct the school using his powers, but he declines to stay, heading off to find his own path. Storm, however, decides to join the X-Men. In the final moments, we see the new team assembled in the Danger Room. Scott, Jean, Nightcrawler, Storm, and Quicksilver, all wearing classic colorful suits. Across from them, a legion of Sentinels activates. Mystique and Beast stand before them as instructors. The X-Men are no longer just students, they are soldiers. The training begins.